Hi boys and girls, this is Mrs. Medved. We're going to be working on our first geography lesson in our fact files. So, what you need right now is a composition notebook, which was on your school supply list, and you need your large baggie of notes on there that look like we have this on the front. Okay, so you're going to need those, and I'll show you which ones you need. Okay, you're going to need this one. You're going to need this one. That's the title page. You're going to want this one that says Continents and Oceans. And you're going to want this world map. Okay? So, to start, get your composition notebook and go ahead and on the front you're going to write fact files. Okay, so write fact files on the front, and this is going to be what we're going to use for science and social studies. Okay, since this is a recording, if you need to pause it so you can get some things, go ahead and then pick right back up. So what we're going to do when we use our fact files inside, we're going to use both the front and the back of each page. So we always go to the next blank page, and by the next blank page I mean the next one or the back of one. So I'm going to start with my title page, and you're going to need a glue stick, and we're going to go ahead and put some glue on this. It was just like what we would do in class. A little bit of glue, you don't need a ton, and go ahead and glue that on this page, and that tells you that this next section coming up is World Geography and Geography of the Americas. So once you have that glued in, then you'll turn the page and you're going to go onto the back of the page we just used. We don't want to skip ones. Now, these geography notes, Mrs. Medved did them, and every year when I do them I forget that I need to switch them. So besides geography, the rest of our notes will be up and down and read side to side, but our geography notes are going to have to be glued in this way, and then when you study your notes you're going to need to turn your composition book to the side so you can read them. So you're going to get this set of notes, and you're going to put some glue on the back and go ahead and glue that in. So then when it's time to take notes, you'll need to turn your composition over. So now you have that glued in. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to glue in a map. Now the map is quite large, and if you try gluing it, let's see if I can get this a little further in so you can see. If you tried gluing this on in your paper, it wouldn't, or in your notebook, it wouldn't fit. So what we are going to do is we're going to make a little fold-out map. So you're going to take your map this way, and you're going to fold it over like this. So there is a fold right down the middle. And then we're just going to glue one side in, this one. So turn it over. I'm just going to put glue on the back of one side. And then you're going to glue that in here. And then when we're ready, that will open up just like this. And it'll stay nice and neat in your notebook. So if you need to pause here and get all of those things set up, go right ahead. And we're going to come back and talk about continents and oceans. Okay, so now we're going to look at our lesson. We're talking about geography, which is where things are located on the Earth. On the Earth, we have 7 continents. Continents are these large land masses, and there are 7 of them. So in your notes, you're going to, let me switch back here, you're going to take your pencil and write in here, Earth has blank continents, Earth has 7 continents. Okay? Earth has 7 continents. Now this should be review. You've been working on geography beginning of the year for kindergarten and first grade, and surprisingly, you will be continuing to do that at the beginning of the year for third and fourth as well. So what are the names of the continents? A couple of things. So there are 7 continents, so there are 7 names. And when we name a specific noun, like a continent with its name, it needs to be capitalized. So the first continent is already there for you. It is Asia. So the next continent is, the next one we're going to write down is Africa. So Africa is A, capital A, F, R, I, C, A. So we have Asia, we have Africa. Now the next 2 continents have 2 names to them. North America is A, M, E, R, I, C, A. Notice North is capitalized and America is capitalized. Then we have South America. South is capitalized, and so is America in this word. So we have Asia, that's 1. Africa, that's 2. North America is 3. South America is 4. Then we have Antarctica. Antarctica. Then we have Australia. And the last one is Europe. Capital E, U, R, O, P, E. So here are our 7 continents, and we have Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Australia, and Europe. Let's go ahead and head to
Hopscotch. The world is split up into continents. There are 7 in all. And if you get the gist, we're gonna make a list from biggest to small. They are Asia, Africa, North and South America, Antarctica, Europe, and finally Australia. Asia, Africa, North and South America, Antarctica, Europe, and finally Australia.
Hey, my name is Asia, and more than half of the world lives all about whatever.
And I am Africa with desert for miles and the Nile is the longest river. North America, start down in Panama, wide open spaces all the way to Canada.
South America with animals below where the rainforest grows, cause the rain really pours.
And Europe, you're welcome for the pasta, pizza, waffles, and fries.
I am Australia, sink on the ocean. I got a lot of islands, too many to explain to you.
We are Asia, Africa, South America, and Africa, finally Australia.
That is our 7 continents song. So before we move on, we're going to look at our world map, and we're going to label our continents. So if you'll open up your world map, and again, if I'm going a little quick, you can pause it and back up if you need to. So we're going to label our continents. So as I look at my map, I see the same thing I just saw in that video. I have Asia and Africa, North and South America, Antarctica, Europe, which is here, sorry, and Australia. And for some reason, my Australia line didn't print, so we're going to have to write that on there. So let's start with the first one, Asia. So Asia is capital A, S, I, A. Asia. Then we have Africa, capital A, F, R, I, C, A. Do your best with your handwriting. Then we have North, capital N, O, R, T, H, and America, capital A, M, E, R, I, C, A. Then, so we have North and South America.
Where are
So
you
South
going,
is
Moby?
capital S, O, U,
You're going on
T,
a trip around the
H.
world? Where are you
Ow.
going first?
South.
What
That,
are
that word only has
continents
3
and
sounds.
oceans?
Ow.
A
And then
continent is one
America.
of the large land masses on Earth. The continents are North America, South America, Africa,
Down
Europe,
here at the bottom,
Asia,
looks like it's really
Australia,
big, but
and
it's really not that
Antarctica.
big because it just goes around.
Most of
It's
the
like it's
continents are
a
separated by
roundish continent
oceans.
that's just right at the very bottom of the earth.
Ocean is a very
Ant,
large body of
so
water.
A-N-T,
The Arctic Ocean is in the
Ant.
far north. The Pacific
Arc,
Ocean is west of North and South America
R,
and east of Asia. The Atlantic Ocean is
then
east
we
of
have
North and
T,
South America and west of
I,
Africa and Europe. The Indian Ocean is below
and
Asia,
at
between
the
Africa
end.
and Australia.
Ant,
The
Arc,
Southern
T.
Ocean surrounds Antarctica. Throughout the world, there are also seas, which
Okay,
are
and then over
smaller bodies
up
of water.
here, above Africa, next
We
to
live
Asia,
on
we
the
have Europe.
continent of North America.
E,
What is
U,
North America like?
R,
The
O,
United States of America,
P,
Canada, and Mexico are
P.
all countries in North America. Central America is the long,
And
narrow
then
part
down
of North
here on the
America
small
that
continent,
connects to
if you
South
want to
America.
draw a line, you
North
can.
America has
That
many
helps you.
plains, which
But
are
if not, you can
wide,
just
flat
write it
lands that often have rich soil.
U,
The
S,
Great Plains covers parts of the
T,
United States and Canada.
R, A,
The Rocky Mountains are the longest
L,
mountain range in North America.
I,
They
A.
stretch from the southern part
Australia.
of British Columbia in
So
Canada
that is those are our
all the way
7
down to New
continents.
Mexico
Asia,
and the United States.
Africa, North
Some
America,
people
South
consider North
America,
America and
Antarctica,
South America
Europe,
to be part of the same
and Australia.
continent. What is South
Okay.
America like?
So
The
then,
equator
we're going
is
to go
an
back to our notes
imaginary
real quick.
line that goes around the middle
So we have
of the
7
Earth.
continents on Earth.
Most of South America lies in the southern hemisphere, which is the area below the
Alright.
equator.
And now we're going to look
The
at how many
Amazon
oceans
rainforest
we
is in
have.
South
Now,
America,
there is
and it's the
some people
largest
don't
tropical
agree
rainforest
about how
in the
many
world.
oceans we have, but for our
The Andes
purposes
Mountains
and
of
for
South
core knowledge
America make up
purposes,
the longest
we are going to
mountain range in the
recognize
world.
4 oceans.
The Andes
So,
mountain range goes through 7
where it
countries.
says, well,
What
we'll
is
go ahead and look
Africa
at these
like?
real quick. So Earth has 4 oceans,
Parts
and
of
we'll write
Africa
that in our
are in
notes.
the northern hemisphere,
They are the
and
Pacific
other parts are
Ocean,
in the southern hemisphere.
Atlantic Ocean,
Africa
Indian
also spans
Ocean,
across the
and
eastern
Arctic
hemisphere
Ocean.
and the western hemisphere.
Now, some people
The
also
Sahara Desert
recognize
is in
an ocean
Africa,
that's just
and it's the largest
around
in the world.
Antarctica,
It's almost as big
called
as
the
the United
Southern
States.
Ocean. And I believe you'll hear that in this video we're going to watch
Africa
here
is
in a
home to
minute.
some
But
really
for our
amazing
purposes,
animals,
we are going
and
to
some
talk
are only
about the
found in the
7
wild on this
continents on
continent.
Earth and the
The
4
Nile River is
oceans
in
on
Africa,
Earth.
and it's the longest river in the world.
So let's
What
go
is Europe
ahead.
like? Where are you going, Moby? You're going on a trip around the world? Where are you going first? What are continents and oceans? A continent is one of the large land masses on Earth. The continents are North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, and Antarctica. Most of the continents are separated by oceans. An ocean is a very large body of water. The Arctic Ocean is in the far north. The Pacific Ocean is west of North and South America and east of Asia. The Atlantic Ocean is east of North and South America and west of Africa and Europe. The Indian Ocean is below Asia, between Africa and Australia. The Southern Ocean surrounds Antarctica. Throughout the world, there are also seas, which are smaller bodies of water. We live on the continent of North America. What is North America like? The United States of America, Canada, and Mexico are all countries in North America. Central America is the long, narrow part of North America that connects to South America. North America has many plains, which are wide, flat lands that often have rich soil. The Great Plains covers parts of the United States and Canada. The Rocky Mountains are the longest mountain range in North America. They stretch from the southern part of British Columbia in Canada all the way down to New Mexico in the United States. Some people consider North America and South America to be part of the same continent. What is South America like? The equator is an imaginary line that goes around the middle of the Earth. Most of South America lies in the southern hemisphere, which is the area below the equator. The Amazon rainforest is in South America, and it's the largest tropical rainforest in the world. The Andes Mountains of South America make up the longest mountain range in the world. The Andes mountain range goes through 7 countries. What is Africa like? Parts of Africa are in the northern hemisphere, and other parts are in the southern hemisphere. Africa also spans across the eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. The Sahara Desert is in Africa, and it's the largest in the world. It's almost as big as the United States. Africa is home to some really amazing animals, and some are only found in the wild on this continent. The Nile River is in Africa, and it's the longest river in the world. What is Europe like? There are about 50 countries in Europe, but 27 of them have come together to form the European Union and share resources. The Alps are a mountain range that stretches across part of Europe. In northern Europe, there are fjords, which are long, narrow inlets with steep sides. They're created by glaciers, which are large, slow-moving bodies of ice. Some people consider Europe and Asia to be part of the same continent. What is Asia like? Asia is the largest continent on Earth. It also has the most people. Over half of the world's population lives in Asia. Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world, and it's on the border between Nepal and Tibet. The Great Wall of China is one of the longest structures ever built by people. It's about 4,000 miles long. India is in South Asia, and it's above the Indian Ocean. India has 22 official languages, but there are hundreds of different languages spoken there. What is Australia like? Australia is the smallest continent. It's entirely in the southern hemisphere, so people call Australia the land down under. The Australian outback is a large, dry area that is far from cities. But all of Australia isn't hot and dry. There are also rainforests on the continent. The Great Barrier Reef in Australia is the largest reef system in the whole world. Australia is the only continent that's also a country. What is Antarctica like? Antarctica is the southernmost continent. The South Pole is in Antarctica. The whole continent is a cold and windy place, and it's frozen in ice all year long. No one lives there all year round, but scientists visit to study the area. Anyway, Moby, where's the first stop on your trip? The cafeteria.
So, let's fill in our notes now. So, Earth has how many oceans? We learned that Earth has 4 oceans. But we also learned that some people say there's 5 oceans. But we're going to learn 4. They are we're going to write Pacific, capital P, A, C, I, F, I, C. So P-A-C, I-F-I-C. And notice ocean also has a capital letter. That's because it's part of its name. The ocean's name is not Pacific. It is Pacific Ocean, kind of like its first name and its last name. Another ocean is the Atlantic Ocean. Atlantic Ocean. And again, Atlantic starts with a capital A and ocean starts with a capital O because it's like its first and last name. Then we have Indian, its last name is Ocean, capital O, C-E-A-N, and Arctic Ocean. So that's the 4 names of the oceans. If you need to pause here, you can and get everything written down. Then we're going to go to our map and we're going to label our oceans. Now, one thing that you need to remember is that the Earth is what shape? It's round. It's called a sphere. A sphere is like a ball, a round object you can hold in your hands and it rolls. So when this map is wrapped around the Earth, this ocean here and this ocean here are actually the same ocean. They're not 2 separate oceans. It's like we took the globe and we took some scissors and cut this map off of it, unwrapped it, and laid it out, whereas these 2 sides would meet if we wrapped it around the sphere. So here we have Pacific Ocean, and we're going to capitalize the O. And over here we have Pacific Ocean. Not that they're separate, but that our map just shows it cut in half so we could make a flat map out of a not flat globe. And again, if you need to pause this anytime, go right ahead. Then we have the Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean, we're going to hear an awful lot about this year. The Atlantic Ocean is the ocean the colonists crossed in order to come to North America. And we're going to specifically be talking about this country, which is in Europe, and it's Great Britain or England, which is part of it. So this ocean is really important. Atlantic Ocean. Up here, it's very cold. This is the Arctic Ocean. And then over here, this little piece of land that sticks out right here, this is India. And as a matter of fact, we're going to be talking about India and the country next to it, which is China. You can't see the borders. We're going to be talking about both of these countries in our, let's see, a couple of more units. But anyhow, this is India, and this is the Indian Ocean. Okay, so the very last thing in your assignment is to color your map. Now you're going to color the 7 continents, Asia, Africa, North and South America, Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. And you can color them any color you'd like, but you have 2 rules. First of all, you may not use blue to color the continents. Why don't we use blue? Well, blue is reserved for something else on our map, correct? Okay, so you may not use blue to color the continents, okay? And you must be neat, very neat. So you have to take your time and color in very neatly so that you can see the edges of the continents. Then when you're done, you're going to pick out a blue and you're going to color the oceans blue, and that shows that it's water. If you'd like to leave Antarctica white, that is fine. That's traditionally white on maps. Alright, boys and girls, now you have your first set of notes done. Your job, once you've finish this map is to study this map and learn these places, memorize where they go, and study your notes so that you remember how many continents there are and their names, and how many oceans there are and their names, okay? Because this will be on a test you're going to be given. All right? So, if you have any questions about this, go ahead and email me. Otherwise, have a good day.